Hello everyone, my name is Nancy and I'm from Syria.
Hey, my name is Anastasiia. I'm from Russia.
Hi, my name is Polet. I'm from Kenya.
Hi, my name is Amer and I'm from Jordan.
The way I would identify a Syrian in the street is really hard because we look really different. Like people think we look the same, we wear the same thing, so it's very different. So I would say like once you hear someone speaking Arabic and the dialect is very like specific, you'd know, and they're talking a lot, and you know that they're Syrian. They're just talking everywhere. They're just speaking a lot. The Syrian
how does
dialect.
it sound and what's the difference?
Well, the Syrian dialect like is kind of softer than like the Saudi Arabian dialect and the other Arab dialects. It's a bit harsher than the Lebanese dialect, but like all the, it's the same language, but yeah, the words can be like different. Yeah, but like from how they look, it's a little hard to identify them. I can identify them from the faces, but I can't really tell you what. Like some of them can be brown, some of them can be white.
I have Syrian classmates, and for me, like based on the setting we are in, it has dictated a lot of the information that we know or we believe about Syrians. For example, like in when you came in and you said you were Syrian, I was shocked because most Syrians are light browner, are browner, and so yeah, it's just a little bit different from what I know. But then I wanted to ask you, is it just how they speak? Is that the only way that you can differentiate between a Syrian and another person?
Well, you know, I can say like when you're in a foreign country, like let's say you're in Germany and you speak Arabic, and or you hear someone speak Arabic, most likely it's going to be a Syrian person. So when you see like someone, I mean, other than the way they speak, if you see someone, probably like a hijabi person, who's a little brown, not as white as the other people there, you can probably tell it. But in Turkey, because Turkish people kind of dress the same, they're also like a little conservative, also a little brown. It's harder to like differentiate, except in the way they speak. And I think I have a Syrian accent, it's like a French, ooh. Français, je m'appelle Nancy. Not just me, like I have a lot of friends here in Turkey that tell me, that go through the same thing. Like they get into a taxi and they ask them, where are you from? And they're like, Syrian. And they're like, no, where's your hijab? But usually, yeah, there's a stereotype. But there are like people who are browner, and there are people who are more conservative, dress more conservatively.
Like about Syrians, it's like either the most conservative people I met and the most open-minded people I met in my life. Like really, I can't have any stereotype because it's like two different type of people.
So what exactly identifies, like what are the feature when you look at someone, you know they're from Russia?
Firstly, it's voices. We are really loud. Like, too loud, I think. It's probably from Soviet times when we used to like scream all this pioneer stuff, and also we are every time well dressed. It's like over well dressed, I would say, because like we have a joke, like even if a girl is going for shopping, like for a really short shopping and the local market, she will wear a high heel.
Yeah.
I find that amazing. I find that really, really amazing about Russians. I find that so, the amount of effort you put into your dressing and looking nice, that's not something I can achieve. But then I'm just like, people who do that is just... Yeah, I think it's
Actually, it's a thing. It's like every time trying to be stylish, like every time trying to be like trying to have makeup, even like if it's like really hot, they are like using this everything. Like even if they are sweating, they're like, oh yeah, at least I'm gorgeous today, baby. Yeah.
Like about this, I've went to university in Russia for a year, and we had like 8 a.m. classes, and we would go, me and my friend, we're just like, anyway, sweatpants or sweatshirt or just jeans and a sweat. And then we find the Russian girls there like full hair, full makeup, full everything. I woke up at 7 a.m. I barely took a shower and came here. And you are like, when did you wake up? Like 4 a.m.
Before coming to Turkey, I very rarely met Russian people. But I did meet a few when I came here, and I think that like the way you'd identify them is just like someone who looks like you know? Blonde, white and blonde. Which is not the truth. Okay. It's not the truth, but it is a pretty good like.
A lot. Most of them.
In Russia, I've seen a lot of girls that are exactly like their hair is not blonde, but everyone dyes their hair blonde. Why do they dye their hair blonde if they're not blonde? Like, why is it such a thing to always like all the girls have blonde hair, but you can see like they're not really blonde?
So is it that the beauty standards are like if you're blonde and you're whiter, you're more beautiful?
Probably yes. I don't share it. Like I just born like this. But yeah, like I really don't know why. But we have a lot of girls with like black hair, and they are beautiful. And also in our like deep culture, we have a lot of like stories, like fairy tales about girls with white skin and black hair, because it seemed more beautiful. It was rare. So, is it true that Kenyans mostly have more than 3 mother languages, or like at least 3, or is it like just exceptions?
No. It's actually not exceptions. We have like 42 languages. Yeah, we have 42 tribes, and these 42 tribes are very different. So we have ethnicities. We have Kushites, and then we have Nilotes, and we have Bantus. So, okay, and then they are divided into 42 languages.
Wow.
So ethnicities. I speak a different language, Swaleh speaks a different language, and we cannot understand each other. If he decided to speak to me, I wouldn't understand him. And then, so every child, especially those who are born in the villages, speaks one of these languages. And then we have the national language, which is Swahili, which everyone also speaks Swahili. And then we have English, which is the Mili Dilima.
National language.
What sets out a Kenyan person? Like when you are walking in the street and you see a guy, what might make you think that he is from Kenya?
I would go with the skin complexion. Yeah, a little bit, because people from the West are darker than people from the East. West Africans are darker than East Africans. So, and then I would, the speaking, most Kenyans speak, like I said, all Kenyans speak Swahili. So that's how I identify a Kenyan, like from the language. The English accent, it also depends on where you come from in the country. So for example, I come from the East. I come from Nyanza, and I'm Luo. So my mother tongue is strongly affected. My English accent is strongly affected by my mother tongue. Especially people from my tribe, you can tell they are Kenyan just from how they speak English.
Every like African person is dancing amazing, which is happening to Kenyans as well. I saw like, is it like for everyone, or you know someone who is like a tree like on the dance floor?
Listen, okay? Listen.
Listen, girl.
Let me tell you the trick. The trick is we follow the beats. I don't dance well, but then if I follow the beats, a Turkish person might think I dance really well, but then an African will be like, what is this person doing? So I think it just depends on the beats. We follow beats really well. I think I can say Kenyans are very sarcastic, especially if we are speaking in Swahili to ourselves. I think we have a way of, the way taking all the frustrations in life, and then instead of getting really angry about it, get really sarcastic and make jokes about it. And that's how we get through life.
They say that West Africans are loud and more like out there, and East Africans are more quiet and in the background. Do you think that's a true thing? Statement?
I think Africans are just loud. Africans around each other are just loud. And I don't know if it has anything to do with the fact that we are in a foreign country. So when we meet each other, we get very excited. But then I think we are just loud naturally. Yeah.
You know, like the Jordanian accent is similar to the Syrian one, but we always make fun of. We kind of make fun of the Jordanian accent because it's very. It stresses on the words. So we say a word like hek, and we say hek, which means like this, like oile in Turkish, and they say like hek. They like stress it out. They emphasize on it. They don't emphasize on the last letter. They emphasize on the letter before the last. So yeah, like because we were watching this show, and it's a Jordanian show, and there's a girl called Nof, and they would be like Nof, heck.
I think that the Syrian accent is like light, but you can't really say there is one Syrian accent because, like, even though it's only from city to city, the accent differs a lot. Jordan's a really small country, and I think if you take out your phone right now and you Google Jordan, chances are it's gonna be Michael Jordan. And the Jordan's the shoe. It's not gonna be like Jordan the country. But like in terms of stereotypes, I think I always hear that Jordanians have sort of a very serious demeanor. I don't know if you heard about this, but when I was in Saudi Arabia, I used to get this a lot from like the Saudi people, that I always look sad. Yeah.
You guys are very sarcastic. Very sarcastic people. Always sarcastic. Always. Your whole humor is like.
Are Jordanians sarcastic or he's?
No, Jordanians are. You know, like their jokes are like snappy.
The art of giving remarks to what someone says. I think that's something we have. That's a talent of ours. Art of just like art of giving remarks. It's just like something we have, you know, something we can do. So like if someone says something, yes, like we have the ability to be sarcastic about it.
I actually have a question about like how much conservative are people in this country, because like a stereotype about like how people who speaks Arabic language like is like you are very conservative. So what about Jordania?
I think Jordan is a conservative country, but like not that much. It kind of depends on where you are. I think it's more like Turkey, you know, where you have like places like Ankara, Istanbul, Izmir, that are like more to the open-minded side, and then you have places like towards the southeast where they are just more conservative. And I think Jordan is like that, you know. It differs from place to place.
So stereotypes. We're talking about stereotypes now. I can say a bit about stereotypes of Syrians. As I mentioned before, everyone thinks I'm not Syrian because of how I look, and it's again, I think the main stereotype is that we're very conservative, which is true in some cases, but it's not like per city. I mean, yeah, some cities are more, but it really depends per family.
We don't feel cold. Like, come on, are you serious, like, guys? Like, okay, like, just give you a cue, you know, like, we do feel cold. We are feeling cold a lot, but we are just dressing normally. Speaking about vodka, we don't like vodka so much. I am sure. No, okay, not everyone in Russia loves vodka. Okay, let's do it like this way. I do love wine, for example. Okay, like no, I don't. Sorry, like it's so embarrassing, but no. We have another stuff to drink, like we have a lot of national drinks, which is not vodka. Like we have good wine, beer is not so bad.
We don't all run. We don't have lions on the streets, but then we have really beautiful animals, especially when you're moving from Nairobi towards the rural areas. You can have like a giraffe passing the road. Not all the time. You can have the monkeys passing the road, but then we don't have lions passing the roads. Yeah.
I said this, but we don't have money. No, we're not. We're not the oil-rich nation, you know. I'm gonna go straight to the point here. Okay, that's not us. Okay, so I think it's pretty interesting always, you know, when you meet people from different countries to talk to them, different perspective. Today I learned that not all Russians like vodka. That is something that is new to me.
My main takeaway is that not all Russians take vodka.